This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, there seems to be a lot of requests with this remote kit where Central, you want to give access to your end users to work on their machines, but not be able to remote control, to transfer files or be able to send files from a local machine to the remote machine or vice versa. So for this particular video, what I'm going to be focusing on is that particular requirement where you can give access to end users, but give limited access so they can only use the remote machines, but not do any file transfer with each of these machines. For starters, what you have to do is create a deployment package that you're going to be installing on every machine as an IT team. So to create these installation packages, you click on Add Installation Package. Now, once you click on Add, you can give it a name. You can choose to add it to a computer group as per your choice. And if you're going through a proxy server, you can add your proxy details. However, this is a completely SaaS-based version, and you need to have port 443 open. All right. Now, once you have these set up, you can create a package. Now, this package will basically give you two options, actually three options. One option is to give you an MSI file, which you can automatically download. The other one is it gives you a link where you can actually push the link to each of these users, or you can create an executable that you can push through SSCM. Right? Once you've installed the application on each and every machine, all your machines will be listed out here from the IT manager's console. All right. Now, these machines are every machine within your organization. Now, the second step is to assign users individual rights to all of these machines. Right. So first the step you would do is add the user group. In your users, you just click on the manage and you can add a user. Now, when you add a user, by default, Central gives you the ability to manage and monitor just like how your IT team would. However, in this case, we're going to give end user access to their remote machines. So first thing that you would do is add the user details of the particular user. It's basically an email address that you need to add. They will get an invite. You can add one per line up to 100 users at one shot. Now, once you have add the user, then the next thing that I would do is give them a simple interface. So the simplified LogMeIn Pro interface is what you need to choose. The next step is to give them access to a particular machine. Now, once you have all the machines out here for Jay, I'm assuming he's going to use only one machine, which is this particular Windows machine that he's going to be using. Now, once I give that, I would, if required for additional security, I can enforce a two-factor authentication, or I can directly send an invitation to his email ID. Now, in this, what it's basically going to do, it's going to have him authenticate from his email ID and be able to log in. But before you do that, you need to assign this particular machine to that particular user. So on your computers list, I will go to the machine which is assigned to J, click on the machine name, and that's gonna have me remote into that particular machine. For added security, you will be required to enter your domain credentials or um, or your local admin credentials. Once you enter the domain on the local admin credentials, I can log into the remote machine directly from here. By default, what Central does give you is the ability for you to actually add these users on a one-to-many level, but we are going to be doing on a one-to-one. So here, as soon as I start off, it's going to ask me to download the LogMeIn client for the first time. But if you already have the LogMeIn client, it's going to open up directly and establish an AES 256-bit encryption between the end user machine and my machine. Now, now that we have this particular application running, by default, it's going to be running with full admin control. You want to control the access that you give for individual users. So on your taskbar, you'll see the LogMeIn session that's going to be running on the machine. You'll click on it to open up the control panel. Under the LogMeIn control panel, you have the option called as under the options and preferences. You will see there is an option to add additional users under the security tab. Now in your security tab, this is where you choose the user access control, right? So I click on show details and here I would add that particular user to give access. So in this case, I'm going to browse the details. And if you don't know what the user name is, I can browse, list all the details who are there on this particular machine. And I know for a fact J is available on this particular machine and here's J's account. So I would add J on this particular account. Instead of giving him full control, I'm going to give him compact view control and I'm going to give him access to read and write, right? And I'm not going to give him access to anything else because this guy is a standard user on the standard machine. So I'm going to click on create OK. And what that's basically going to do is just to double check. I think we didn't add the particular user. Let's go ahead and add that user on that particular machine. So where's my user list? J Central, and I'm going to compact view, a read write permission, and I'm going to add that user to that particular account with the compact view. Click OK and click on save. Now, Jay, what would have gotten is he would have gotten a link, and to be on the safe side, I can just go ahead and log off from this particular account. All right. Now, Jay would have gotten an invite on his machine, on his particular on his account, and he would be required to sign into that particular machine. Now, when he signs into the particular machine, let's just go back and let's impersonate Jay's account. All right. So it's not now. Log out from the particular machine, and I'm going to be logging in as Jay. Right. So when I log in as Jay, there's the account JVO360 with this password. I log into my account, and here I have a completely controlled view of everything. So here I have access only to the machine that I've been assigned to. I don't get anything else. I have access with the basic view. I click on the machine, and that's going to give me access to the backend page. But again, in this case, I don't have access to the main account. He will enter his individual account that was provided to him. If he's part of the machine, he would, if he's part of the domain, he can choose a domain. If he's part of the local machine, in this case, I've chosen the local machine. I'm going to add this particular user credentials. So let me just add that particular account. There we go. Here's the password for that particular user. And I'm going to log in now. So let's just go ahead and create the old account with a new password that we want. By the way, what you're looking at right now is basically um, the LastPass in action. All right, let's click on apply. Now, when he logs in to his particular account, you can skip out on that. You'll see there is only a couple of options. No file manager, no nothing. He has remote control and view monitor. So I'm just going to click on remote control. That's going to open the login client. The end user would have to use it on his local machine. And that's going to start off access to his machine directly out here. Now here, when he tries to log in, he's required to enter the control alt delete. He can use the shortcut command out here, and he can enter. Here the tool automatically says you can initiate a login to this machine using this. Do you want to log in here? So he clicks on OK, and there he goes logging into his JCentral test account. Right. So now he does not have file transfer. There is no way for him to push and pull files, and he has very limited control on this particular machine that he's currently working on. All right. So this is what you have with respect to the control of logging in Central with limited file transfer and additional limited file transfer and any push and pull files. So even if I try to pull a file outside the organization, there is no way for me to drag and drop, nor is there a file manager option. For additional security, what you as an administrator can actually do, so let me just log out from here and I can talk to you about the admin console. Let me just log into the account again. And this time I want to log in as essential accounts. All right. For added security, I can also choose what these users do while on the machine. So for example, in my reports, I will be able to see how many times who remoted into my system. Under my report viewer, I have my activity and usage, and I can choose remote sessions in the last month, and that will give me a detail of all the users who remoted into their machine, along with Jay, who just remoted in right now, and how long was he there in that particular session. But if I want to record it for security purpose, I have it under my host preferences out here. In my host preferences, I can create a preference or package called recording. So I'm going to create a new package. Let's just call it as test recording. Click on save. And under my options, I have multiple tabs, which is IP lockout, access control. But what you're looking for is log settings. In my log setting, I can choose how long do I want to keep my logs, and where do I want to store my logs. It can typically be it's C program files log me in, or you can choose a particular. This is going to be on the local machine. I can also have the logs pushed out, but here is what we're focusing on, which is recording the content. So I can click on save recording, and I can also choose where I want to store the recordings of all the session. So every user who does any remote activity can have the sessions recorded. Either you can give the local file path, or if you know the UNC path for that particular file, UNC path from the particular machine, I can give the UNC path for the application to store that recording. If you need any more information, you can always look for help, and it's available out here. You can click on that, and we have a 24/7 support. And we also have the login support page where you can request for any help that you might need. And this entire page is run on AI power, so you can just type the words and it will tell you the best possible course of action. Thank you.